My name is Jim Vance with the IC Square Institute of the University of Texas at Austin. Along with Salvador Alanis, we will discuss and demonstrate how to develop a clear and compelling description of your technology. A technical description should communicate what your technology is, what it does, what problem it solves. The best place to start is to ask yourself, given how your intended audience currently addresses the problem your technology solves, what about it would they find especially meaningful, and what would capture their interest? Most of us could convince many individuals of our ideas if they gave us sufficient time and were willing to listen. In order to sufficiently capture your audience's interest so they will want to know about your technology, you must first capture their interest with a brief description. We recommend 50 words or less. Salvador and I will demonstrate a couple ineffective and effective examples so you can see how we've applied IC Square methods to actual technologies and how to do the same for yours. Here's Salvador with an example of an ineffective description.
The technology is a new medical device for measuring the progression of diabetic neuropathy and predicting foot ulcer development. When a healthy individual stands placing all their weight on their feet, neurons in their feet's nerves ensure adequate blood flow by means of weight redistribution through muscular micro-movements in the feet. As a result, no part of the foot is deprived of blood flow. Using revolutionary chaos theory, the device detects nerves and blood vessels damaged at very microscopic levels and helps in assessing the efficacy of medication a diabetic patient is taking.
Let's go ahead and analyze the ineffective description that Sal gave. Obviously, there's too many technical terms. If it describes some of the how the product works rather than simply what it is and what it is capable of. In fact, it may even mention some of the device's proprietary information. Because others unfamiliar with the development of your technology may naturally be skeptical, telling them how it works opens the door for criticism or sometimes disbelief. It is best to discuss the how after you've captured their interest. Salvador will now give an example of an effective description.
The technology is a non-invasive medical diagnostic device that detects the onset of diabetic neuropathy or damage to the nerves. The device enables physicians to very early pinpoint their diabetic patients' high-risk areas of foot ulcer development and initiate early preventive measures before they develop into foot ulcers, gangrene, and amputation.
Let's take a look at the effective description Sal just demonstrated. The medical terms were kept to a minimum while the unfamiliar ones were explained. The description focuses on solutions the technology provides rather than how it works. And by not going into the how, the listener is likely to be curious as to how the innovator is able to make such a diagnosis. Now let's do a different example. I'll start with the ineffective one. The technology is a new process to eliminate gases and convert them into other products. The technology keeps gases that would otherwise be released into the atmosphere, providing advantages for carbon emission trade, and additionally obtains CaCO3 and CaSO4, which are valuable products.
As you can see, the previous description is very weak and at best will confuse the targeted audience for the following reasons. The message lacks clarity regarding the type of process discussed, and if the technology being offered is a process, an equipment, or both. It additionally fails to mention where are the gases to be eliminated found. The statement is not creating awareness of uniqueness and provides no hard evidence data that supports the value propositions or pain this innovation will provide its users. The audience is likely going to be skeptical about inquiring further and may end up just wishing the innovator the best of luck. After further thought and revision, the innovator came to the following description, which Jim is now going to give us.
The technology is a proprietary chemical processing solution and equipment that eliminates toxic gases from industrial chimneys and converts them into marketable products. The innovation reduces carbon emissions by 60% by keeping toxic gases such as CO2 from going into the atmosphere, while producing valuable non-toxic resaleable products like calcium carbonate and calcium sulfate.
This iteration is dramatically improved and reflects thorough knowledge of the technology, its uniqueness, the market, and provides enough information to generate further interest in the targeted audience. Let us see how this was achieved. The opening statement clearly identifies the innovation as proprietary, meaning no one else has it and it most likely patented or protected. By defining clearly that it is a chemical process and equipment, the audience immediately can see this innovation and who in their organization should be considering it or evaluating its merits. By establishing a specific reduction number in the percentage of carbon emissions, the audience is made aware that the technology is not in its early stages, but has actually been validated and maybe even certified by a third party that can be evaluated. Finally, by establishing the byproducts, the audience immediately would either know or would like to know more information, such as the amount and value of these byproducts, how and where can they resell them, and ultimately, what would the capital investment payback or IRR may be. So after going through these two examples, we hope that you have clear understanding that a technology or innovation description should convey and address two basic issues. One, what it is, and two, what does it do? The composition of the sentences should ultimately reflect a very concise and profound understanding of the industry and the target audience, as well as an up-to-date awareness of the industry's technology, current status quo, and its trends. The competitive landscape, what are the major pains it addresses, and have enough information of how your innovation addresses the pains or provides benefit to the target users. Therefore, once you have done all the front work previously mentioned, your description should be a brief, powerful set of sentences that convey the what it is and what does it do, using simple, easy to understand terms instead of technology jargon, talking about the solutions you have rather than the problems you solve, protecting your intellectual property, describing the what and not the how, and clearly establishing its uniqueness by conveying the differentiation and or value-added propositions, making others want to ask more questions and further their understanding of your technology or innovation. On behalf of the IC Square Institute at the University of Texas, we thank you for your time.